everybody, welcome back to the channel. In this video I am going to put a CD-ROM drive into my HP mid-tower desktop. Now I'm doing this so I can show you that CD-ROMs do work in Windows 11. So unfortunately on this machine, as you see here, there is no IDE controller. That is what you need to run a CD-ROM. So, I'm going to need two other things. I'm going to need a PCI Express IDE controller, or PATA, as it's called. You saw videos of me using this in an older video. I do need this. I had to take it out of another computer. And you're going to need an IDE line, and you're going to need a PATA connection, which this power supply does have, as you can see here. So, to get started here, now this drive is a little bit bigger than most, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to install the CD-ROM first. This is not the gray HP one, this is the black HP one. There are certain controls on the gray one that I want to keep using. So, you go like this. Oop. There we go. It's going to be an extremely tight fit, but I can fix that. So what I'm going to do here is snip those wires so that way I have more room, and that just fell into the system. I'm going to have to do the shake test. That's fine. So I'm going to push it up front. There we go. So it's not going anywhere. Now, the bad thing about this is I will have to move it out just to get the connection in there. So what I got to do now is I got to install the IDE controller. But first, we're going to move that out so I can install the data cable for this drive, and also the power cable. Alright, so there we go. Now, unfortunately, I do need a different tool. But first, I am going to install the power for this. So that's in there now. So I could slide this back no problem, and it's not going to hurt anything. So there we go. Now it's going to create havoc for the button here, but that's okay because I could adjust that. Alright, there we go. So everything is hooked up, data and power wise. So now since that's hooked up, what I can do now is I can install the Ide card. Just give me 1 second. I forget this case has a specialized screw, so I gotta grab that. So I gotta get my electronics repair kit, And I have to figure out which one it is, and I have an idea here because I forget all the time. Do do do. I know I should have done this before the video, but fortunately, I had to do it this way because I completely forget about it all the time. So, just bear with me here. Here we go. So now I'm doing this. I'm taking the screw out here. There we go. And there we go. It is now in. So I take this and I put it back on. There we go. There we go. So that's not going anywhere. So now what I could do is take this line and oops. Oh. I was hooking it up the wrong way. So what I do now is I do this. And there we go. It is all hooked up and ready to go. So, double check that I have everything hooked up. Now what I do, turn the system up. Put the cover back on. Fortunately, I have a little bit of difficulty because of the USB 3.0 cables that I have plugged in. So I got to figure that one out. Turn it this way. But other than that, everything is going to plan here. There we go. So once I get these through, I gotta snip a little bit of material off. Once I do that, there we go. There we go. Right, so once I just got that on, everything is now hooked up. We are going to see in the BIOS what actually happens, or I'll let the system boot and I'll show you in there. So, let me just put everything back together. Everything is good. I still got the power hooked up. I still have the data line in there. Alright, perfect. So now what I can do is I'll put this on. Oh, wait, I gotta do the shake test. Alright. Just to make sure. Okay. Alright, so everything's in there the way it should be. Just the way it should be, as I'll reiterate. Alright, so now, there we go. Since that CD drive is bigger than what it's supposed to be, I'm having a little difficulty putting the case on because stuff is pushing against the case. Now I had to take this out. This was part of the case that was right here. And the previous owner of this computer did not work on it much, so okay, gotta there. Bear with me for a second. This is giving me a really hard time. Okay, so what's the deal? There we go. Alright. So it's already plugged in. It has no power since I have the main power shut off to the power strip. Okay, so we're going to put this on here. Alright. So I'm going to put the computer back. Just like that. Just like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I am going to turn on the computer. All right. So I have the camera set up. I have not powered it on. Just to recap, I installed the CD-ROM drive, I installed the IDE controller, I hooked the ribbon cable up, which is what it's called, and I put the IDE controller in. So let's see if this computer will boot and recognize the CD drive in Windows 11. So here we go. All right. So we're going to the BIOS first. So it's recognizing the drive. It's not recognizing main. Not installed. Okay, so Windows should recognize it, which I'm hoping happens, because I do have power to it. Okay, so I just checked. I do have power to it. So let's see how Windows CD-ROM group. Okay, so it's reading the Blu-ray. So we'll see what happens here. All right, so I'm booting the machine. All right, so now I am booting the machine up, and we're going to see if Windows will recognize the drive. So when that comes up, that means that the controller is working. So we'll see what happens here. So we're going to have to wait a little bit, unfortunately, here. But that is okay. All right. So hold on here. So this is not the fastest computer in the world, so all right, still processing. It's almost fully booted here. Alright, so if I go into here, alright, we're going to go into this PC. CDRW, because this is technically a CD burner. So this works. So, and to prove that it works, I'm going to grab a CD-ROM, and I am going to put it into the drive. And what I'm going to see is I want to see if it will recognize it. And if it recognizes it, you're going to see it. All right, there we go. So I have a CD in the drive. Well, that's interesting. Ah, there we go. So it does work. This is a computer game that I have in there, and it does work. And to prove that it works, I'm going to try to run the setup here. It won't work on Windows 11, but it's reading it. So there you have it. So anyway, that is it for this video. Please comment, like, subscribe, and click that bell for more notifications.